Mm-mm-mm. Good night, good night. How are you? Hey, love.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Okay. How have
Good.
you? How's your day been?
A little busy, but it's been good. It's been good.
Okay.
Do you mind if I wipe the camera and bed it? I think it needs a
That's
little.
fine. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay. Yeah, that looks better now.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. It's been good. Yeah. A
Okay.
little busy, but I'm thankful that it's been a little busy. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just invited a few people. Feel free to invite a few people to the call before we start.
Okay.
We'll probably get started in about 2 minutes.
Oh, they'll see.
Fair
They
enough.
will see. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Yeah.
Welcome. Oh, mm, mm, mm. Feel like time moving a little slow at this point.
It's okay. Um,
That's okay.
yeah, okay. I just remind them that I'm on a live. Yeah.
Mm, mm, mm. Okay, we'll get started.
Yes, we can.
All right, good night, everyone. Welcome to the Make It Happen with Chamara interview series. My name is Chamara Hollingsworth, and the purpose of this interview series is to offer views, strategies, and stories to encourage and inspire women to tap into their inner being, embrace who they are, dream bigger, and dig deeper within. I am Chamara Hollingsworth, the founder of Vision to Reality International, and I help women in business to take bold, decisive action to move their business ideas from vision to reality. Tonight I have with me Miss Melinda Peter. She's an author, teacher, and financial consultant. From an early age, she had a particular interest in money. Now, business, as Melinda would say, businesses are often birthed out of the business owner's personal experience. And it is with her mistakes, knowledge, and experience that she desires to see others make sound decisions with their money. Melinda sees her role as that of an architect and is committed to the shaping of financial landscapes of men, women, boys, girls, businesses, and nations, teaching families and individuals to manage their money and to create wealth. Melinda is the founder and managing director of Astrape Finance Inc. in Barbados, with a mission of being the leading financial education company, providing resources on personal and business financial management in the Caribbean. Welcome, Melinda.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you for joining me.
No problem.
Before we get started, what I usually do is I have two games throughout the process. The first game, my first little icebreaker, um, is really a rapid fire game. And today's game is going to be choices, this or that,
Okay.
right? So I would say two words, and you will pick which one is your favorite out of the two words.
Okay.
So, cat or dog?
Dog. All the way, dog.
Purple or, purple or orange?
Orange.
Day or night?
Night.
Sunny or rainy?
Rainy.
Burger or wrap?
Wrap.
Party or movie?
Movie.
Heels or flat?
Heels. Anyone who knows
Music?
me would know that.
I was thinking the same thing. Music or poetry?
Music.
Okay. Beach or pool?
Sorry, beach or
Pool.
I like both, but what's realistic is the beach.
Fair enough. Cuckoo or macaroni pie?
Cuckoo.
Uh, uh, yeah. Okay. All right. So take, I would like you to take this time to tell our audience. Okay, sorry. Before we get into that, I am I would like to let everyone know, please feel free to drop any comments in the chat. Today I'm going to do things a little differently. What I'm going to ask you to do is to press the question box to drop any questions in there. I'm going to be trying this out for the first time just to see how it goes. Okay? So feel free to drop any comments in the chat and any questions in the question box. The question box is a little comment box with a question mark in it. Okay? So, Melinda, tell us, what is it that you do so that
Oh,
we can get a better understanding?
sure. So I have been in the financial services industry for this year will be 16 years. So I started when I was, how old was I? 20, 22 actually, 22. So I've been doing this for 16 years. You do the math.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, I have been in business for 9 years. Next year will be 9 years since I've been doing this, March the 1st. Astrape Finance is the name of my company, and we are the caring, knowledgeable, trustworthy financial company guiding you to financial stability and prosperity through education, sound planning, and advice. And our mission is to be the leading financial education company in the Caribbean and in the wider world. So there are different things. I've collaborated with other people, had team members work with me on certain projects. So, for example, would have released two books, My Money and Me, which takes a look at
Mm-hmm.
how your behavior affects the way you manage your money. So it's a journal. And then Lampy the Lighthouse, which is a coloring book for children, teaching them how to manage their money. But outside of that, I help businesses in particular with their accounting and tax filings. I'm very passionate about succession planning because I believe that a business should be passed down, and generational wealth is kept within the family through the business because it benefits the family, the next generation, and then it also benefits the wider community surrounding the business. And then there is the personal finance arm, which is where I do one-on-one sessions with singles or couples. And I also am invited to speak at the various workshops or various discussions like this. And yeah, that's pretty much in a nutshell what we do, what I do. It's my calling, it's my purpose, and I love doing it. But I'm also gifted in different areas as well. I'm a counselor naturally, so trained, so I have a certificate. So I have another side business where I actually counsel women, help them with their self-esteem and so on. So I'm very multifaceted. That's the point. But I really have a huge vision for myself. By the time I'm 40, it's not too late. It's not too late.
Okay.
It's not too
So
late
so
for me
far,
to fulfill.
nice. I think you have. I love that you have a very wide range of services that can fit many groups or of people
Hmm.
in them. So it really covers a wide area.
Good.
Um, Candy Marshall was saying that heels and a cute dress for Melly Mel.
That's what I'm known for. My style.
And
I love color.
yes, and it looks very lovely on you.
Thank you very much.
Um, and Bijou Biz is saying like my workshop.
Well, I'm actually supposed to be speaking with her March I think it's the 6th. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Okay.
you could look out for it in my stories.
Yes. Okay. I'll definitely be looking out for that.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
All right. So, what was the brilliant, audacious, dynamic dream that inspired you to start this particular business?
It wasn't my first choice. Most people don't believe that it wasn't
Mhm.
my first choice. Um, I have an associate degree in computer studies at BCC, and
Okay.
I felt very strongly that that was supposed to be my career. And I went to UB and I did a double major in computer science and management, and I passed that. So I was at home waiting or, working or, send out applications, trying to get a job and my first job was actually at a law firm. And what I I'm glad that I did the computer science course because that would have exposed me to different programs and how to use them and so on. So QuickBooks was the software that they were using at that time. And I fell in love. I fell in love and I really didn't I'm telling people that that was not my first choice, but I realized that that was really what I wanted to do because, growing up and everything, for me, especially numbers wasn't my favorite thing to deal with at that time, but I realized that I couldn't run away from it anymore. So I was there, I left, I went to offshore bank, and that's when my mind started to expand because of the different things I would have seen there, seeing how the financial crisis would have occurred and how people would have been affected. So I felt like there was a niche for me. I felt that that was where I was supposed to be.
Hmm.
And I just started writing down ideas like, how am I going to help educate people? How am I going to help them make better informed decisions with their money? But I've always had this desire for earning and entrepreneurship and all that stuff. So I took the plunge March the 1st, 2012, and I had no money and I just started. And 9 years later, I'm still here today.
Nice. How's it going?
Yes. It's going okay. I would say I don't discount, and I'm glad that this pandemic has occurred because it would cause me to look at the different ways in which I do things that need to be tightened up, systems that need to be fixed. In terms of really looking at the way that I earn, like shifting my business model in terms of, thinking about making myself easily accessible online. Because even for this month, really, I've had tons of meetings. When I say tons, I mean more meetings than usual, where I'm meeting people online and we're interacting, and I'm still servicing them. So work hasn't stopped for me, but I'm glad that this has caused me to become a little more innovative and then look at other income streams, of course. This has definitely taught me you can't rely on one income source. So I'm
So
really
true.
glad for the lessons that I'm learning, for sure. Yeah.
Mm. Um, Before I forget again, I'd like to take this opportunity to wish you happy belated birthday.
Thank you very much. Don't mind that. I had to be I had to spend my birthday in lockdown. Ideally, it was not the thing that I wanted to do, but
Mm-hmm.
even in light of being at home during that time, especially on my birthday, I still put on my green dress with sequins.
Mm-hmm.
I still put on my red lipstick, and it was as if I was out, but I was out at home. But it really led me to understand what really matters and what was really important to me, like receiving
Mm-hmm.
greetings from people and speaking with people and connecting with people and recognizing that I really do make an impact. I really do help heal. I really do help, soothe people, or, and it was just really beautiful to me. And I'm realizing more and more, especially with the pandemic, for me personally, is like, sometimes we spend money on things and then we realize that it's not really important.
Yeah,
Because
it's true.
2 years ago, actually, for my birthday, I guess I had a point to prove, so I just did whatever, spent whatever. So last year's birthday was quite minimal in terms of like I spent like less than $100, so to speak. And even this year was even less, like 20 something dollars or $30. I just bought some red lipstick and
Mm-hmm.
something else. I can't remember it, but I guess as I get older, I realize what really matters, for sure. So yeah, I'm really grateful. So thank you for that greeting.
Okay. So you said that you fell in love with it while
Yes.
you were at the law firm. What would have been your aha moment? What what really made you fall in love with
Yeah,
finance?
I was competent
Mm-hmm.
because understanding subtraction was kind of a challenge for me. But I guess the more confident I became in using that software, and then I understood that I didn't need to be, what's the word, so finance minded or have a strong sense of numbers, because I didn't have that strong sense of numbers then that I do now. But the point is that I really could use a tool which could help me do things, still have a handle on finances, so to speak. So that's why I fell madly in love with it, because I became more confident. Yeah.
Okay. And so would you say that the reason you're so passionate is because you realize how, because it's just based on something you said, that you realize how you were able to analyze how people, businesses, nations spend money and how you could help them to make better
Yes.
choices?
Yes. For sure. I remember being asked by, well, my boss back then, what would be my goal, what would be my ambition in 5 years. And I think I left, yeah, I went there in 2005, but I left after 7 years, right? So she asked me, what is it that you'd like to accomplish in 5 years? I said, well, I really would like to help businesses with their accounting, small businesses in particular. And she was like, oh, that's quite ambitious. But because I understood that with that too, I could help them to get to know their numbers better, help them to, keep their books in order, and all those things. So that's why.
Okay. What would you say truly drives you to do what you do?
Pardon me? I think you just broke
What,
up a little bit.
sorry, what would you say truly drives you to do what you do?
The fact that I am a solution. I was born to be a solution, and
Mm,
that people are looking for what it is that I have to offer. I don't just, I am not your, I'm not your typical finance person, and no disrespect to people who are of this nature, but the truth is I am introverted, yes, in a sense. Most people think that I'm more extroverted, but I am introverted. But um, I I've been told by a potential client that I met that, you know, your personality is so warm, you're so, I was just so, you know, impressed by you, and you seem so approachable. And I think that people get a little nervous and a little intimidated when it
mm,
comes to, you know, dealing with numbers. And I try as much as possible not to be judgmental or like, I expect you to know everything. But really and truly, what I want to do is help you and to help hold your hand and help you walk through your financial journey, whether you're a business or whether you're individual or couple. That's just how I am, and I think that that's what drives me. That I have a unique way of looking at finance, and rather than looking at the numbers, I look at the person and see how I can build up the person so that they would gain the confidence in order to manage their numbers and move forward confidently.
right. Okay. So,
Yeah.
what bold, decisive action did you choose to take to get up and get on track with your business or your businesses?
Oh, okay. I can start before I actually went into business,
Mm,
because I was terrible with spending, and there were underlying reasons why I was looking for things to make me happy. Um, and outside of that, that I understood also that there were tools that I could have used to make things better for me. And that's when I started using Excel to budget, which was a word that I liked at that time. But had I not made a decision to be responsible, then I would have mismanaged my company finances as well too. Um, so outside of, yes, it's the traditional thing to do. It's the right thing to do as a business owner to know where your money is going, how things are performing, and so on. I just wanted from the beginning, from the get-go, to know, you know, this is where the money is going, this is how I'm performing, and these are the little adjustments that I need to make. But because of my diligence and making sure that I had all of my information together, then I found it easier for me to actually acquire funding, especially when I needed to get a vehicle at the time, which ended up being my company vehicle because I mainly use that to go to clients and do whatever it is that I need to do. But because I had all of my information in place, because I had all my financial statements and all my bank statements and all that information that they would have required, they would have seen how everything would have been in order. And because the information was correct and concise, then they were able to afford me that. So yeah, I still make it my business to make sure that things are particularly up to date because I want to be investor ready. And it may not be a partner yet, but it may mean like I may need to get funding at a particular point. So I just need to make sure that everything is together so that I'm ready for opportunities. So I make sure I do that for me personally. And even if it gets too much for me, there's nothing wrong with me seeking an accountant to do that for me. So I had to do that recently because things were getting a little busy for
mm,
me. I sought the services of someone and she did a very good job for me. Yeah.
mm. Okay. So, would you say you had to make any shifts in your life, or sorry, any shifts in your perspective to take the actions that you that particular action, or to even take your business to the next level?
For sure. I have learned over the time on the different projects and everything, I can't do it all on my own. And if I tried to do everything on my own, I would not get further. So this is the thing about me. I'm not threatened by people's strengths. And if I see
Hmm.
something in you that I'm not strong in, but you can make the team stronger, or you can make the project stronger, or you can make the business stronger, I welcome you. So that's always been my attitude. So different things. The coloring book, I didn't do it on my own. I had a graphic designer, I had a project manager because I do not like dealing with the nitty-gritty details of a project. I would have, right, graphic designer because I am not able to format the book. I would have had an illustrator because I know I can't draw. I would have had teachers, my project manager at that time would have had teachers look over the book just to make sure that it was compliant and that was free flowing and that students would have been able to comprehend the information. So that's always been my attitude. What I'm not skilled in, I let other people do. And if it is, I can't hire you on a full-time basis, on a contract basis, we work something out and we work together. So that's always been my attitude. That's the shift that I needed, that I'm not good at everything. And there's nothing wrong with not being good at everything. I'm not going to pretend I'm good at everything, but I know that there are people who are stronger in things that I am, so I bring them on board. And I know that, again, with business, and especially the levels that I've grown and so on, trust me, it's because of the network that I have. It's the people that I collaborate with, or the people who would have referred me or recommended me. You know, I know that I wouldn't be here today if I had not reached out, or if I had not had a strong support system or a network that could help propel me further. So it's about shifting my mindset and understanding, you know what, I can't do everything on my own. And then also making sure that, you know, I can't do this on my own. I need a network of people around me in order to accomplish my vision.
I think that's actually very, very important because many of us get into business and we're the chief cook and bottle washer.
Yes.
And then we feel like we have to do everything. And then before we could even get very far, we burn out. So I think it's very important what you just said in terms of knowing what your limits are, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
and being able to embrace other people who can assist you um, in getting further.
That's for sure.
Um, yep. To get there, we need to go together.
Yeah, we do. We do. We need each other. We can't get through. And I would like that us as Bajans and us as the Caribbean people, that, you know, we see each other as our complements and not as our competition,
Hmm.
because, you know, somebody may be looking for that person's interpretation of finance, for example. I know there are different people who have their different finance businesses, and I
Hmm.
know the way that I view things may not be what somebody needs, but they may need the perspective of someone else. Do you see what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
I know I'm supposed to reach a particular set of people, and then there are other people who are supposed to meet another particular set of people. So we're not each other's competition. I think we're each other's complement. That's how I try to view things. That's how I try to view life. And yeah.
I think you make a fair point there as well because
Mm-hmm.
um, a good example of children in a classroom. Sometimes you explain something to a child as a teacher, and even adults. You explain something in your way, the person doesn't understand, but then
Yeah.
somebody else is able to explain that particular thing in a way that helps you to understand. And it doesn't make the first person any less of a
No, it doesn't.
professional, you know? It
Yeah.
just means that that person does not necessarily understand the way that you put certain things forward, and it will
Mm-hmm.
not go for everything.
No.
Um, just a few comments here. We have Reach Your Goals Academy saying so true, networking is crucial
It is. It is.
and you can achieve more together. And then we have Bijou Biz saying let's grow together in business and that's how we'll succeed.
Agreed.
Um, so they totally agree with you there. And Reach Your Goals Academy is also saying collaboration over competition.
Yeah.
So I think that's very important.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what was life you like 5 years ago as compared to now?
What happened 5 years ago? 2016 was when I first launched Lampy the Lighthouse. So a lot of extensive work went in between, behind the scenes for sure. And I think it was March, the beginning of March, yeah, in late with the anniversary, we would have made the effort to launch it out there. And that year was when, you know, greater exposure was gained. Actually, 2015 and onward, that's when people started to know more about me and so on. And had the opportunity to, what's the word, exhibit at BMAX.
Mhm.
Teamed up with Yes at that time. So it was really, really good for me. The exposure that I gained, it was really crucial at that point. Yeah, so doors were opening at that time. So I launched, I think that was my first book. Was it? Yeah, that was my first book. That was my first official
Mhm.
book. Yes,
Mhm. Mhm.
that
Okay.
was my first book.
So congratulations on 5 years of Lampy the Lighthouse.
Yeah, Lampy's still going. Actually, Lampy is an online course right now. So if you
Oh,
are
nice.
interested, you go. Yes, it's an online course now. Again, adapting with these present times and adapting with, having to work online and, less
Mhm.
interaction. Um, we decided to get that online. So if you go to the link in my bio, you would actually see the course there. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so for those who don't know, the link would be in the bio at Money Matters with
My Mars
Melinda.
from Melinda, yes.
Yes,
My
because she
present.
has, right, she has quite a few social media handles. We'll give you all of them at the end,
For sure.
right? But Money Matters with Melinda is where you will find the link to the Lampy the Lighthouse course. And is
Yes.
it only for children or is it also for adults?
Well, actually, that's for children, but we're working on putting My Money and Me as an online course very soon. So we're working on that as well.
Oh,
Yes,
that's good.
yes.
Okay. So before we go on, I'm just going to tell people about a new thing I have going. This is called the Dynamic
Sure.
Diva Club. And the Dynamic Diva Club essentially brings together women in business to build business practices, rituals, and habits that will bring us some clarity, help us to take decisive action in our business with confidence. And the club is really a community for women in business to just come together, build their businesses in ways that allow for us to create greater balance in our lives. And to start with, we'll be focusing on creating key business practices that will allow for our businesses to expand. Additionally, we touch on self-love, motivation, and accountability. If you're interested in joining the Dynamic Diva Club, you can feel free either to reach out to me via DM or you can register by going to the link in my bio, which would be the Dynamic Diva Club, right? So thank you for that.
No
The next
problem.
thing we're going to do before we go on to more questions is our second game.
Oh dear. Hmm.
Okay, so this one is called fill in the blanks. And what I'm going to ask you to do is to choose three questions between three numbers, sorry, between 1 and 10.
Okay. You want me to choose now?
Yes, please.
6, 2, and 3.
Okay. So number 6, loving myself means.
Loving myself means recognizing that it's okay for me to not have everything all together. I don't need to be perfect.
Okay,
Hmm.
fantastic. Number 2, I can't start a day without.
Prayer. I
Mm.
can't.
And number 3, my most rewarding experience so far was.
um, Understanding and knowing my purpose. That's a
Ah, that's a
huge
good one.
one.
I think that's a huge one for sure.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. So one of the things you talked about not too long ago was being able to team up with organizations like Yes, and also being able to gain exposure in your business. Um, for somebody who is new to business, why is this important?
You may not know all of the intricacies about running a business,
Mhm.
so you need to get some education or get some key insight. Working with Yes at that time, they would have set me up with someone who would have assisted me with my marketing at the time. So they would have helped me to fine tune that. I remember the person at that time asking me, okay, so who's your target market? I said, everybody. And she was like, no, 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 no. Everybody cannot be your target market. And she quickly rather nipped that in the bud for me. With respect to incorporating my company, they would have provided technical assistance to me. So was it that I only had to pay the incorporation fee? I'm trying to remember. Yes, I only had to pay the incorporation fee, but they paid my legal fees in order to get it incorporated. So teaming up with them was really good. And then also I would have been afforded the opportunity to be on their television program. So people would have known more about me. And then of course, when I go to exhibit under their umbrella, I don't have to pay a high fee, or I don't have to pay at all to be part of that. So they were quite integral in terms of my business development. So if you are looking to get technical assistance, especially when it's funded by government, I mean, they do have an entrepreneurial training and development program, but I would have told them how far along I was in my entrepreneurial journey, and they said that I was quite advanced. So I didn't have to go into that training, but then they decided and they offered me assistance in different areas. So they really would have helped strengthened me. And then also they would have had me back to teach some of their courses actually. So they have been quite beneficial to me. So if it is that you're looking to build your business, I would suggest yes. And then there's a small business association, but I could only say yes because I went through their training and I went through their process, you know. But it's good to actually partner with organizations like that.
All right. So what is one change that you had to make about yourself in order to create the success that you see today?
I had to get out of my own way. I had to stop sabotaging. I would have much preferred to have been hidden and not seen. I struggled with communicating because as I mentioned earlier, I'm more introverted than extroverted. Because people think I'm extroverted because I am effervescent and all that stuff. Yes, that's quite true. But I had to learn to communicate. I had to learn to speak to strangers. That's not something that I was used to doing. But being seen on TV and heard on radio, I had to be open to when people would have recognized me. And I said, okay, you know what? Let me interact. Let me say hi. Let me say hello. But I really had to be okay with being seen. I wasn't planned that it wasn't my plan, or I didn't plan to be seen or to be heard. But in order to promote my business, I had to be comfortable with speaking and letting my voice be heard and so on. So that was the major shift I had to make, that I was meant to be seen and not hidden. And yeah, it's a work in progress still. But I'm getting used to it now. I'm getting used to it. I have a solution to offer. I have to know and assume that not everybody knows who I am. So therefore, I'm just going to keep speaking. I'm going to keep showing up and just letting people know this is what I do. This is how I can help you. Let's have a conversation. Yeah. So.
Okay. All right. So what kind of changes would you say you've had to make in your relationships, whether it be your relationship with yourself, your relationship with family, loved ones?
Not essentially. My family has always been supportive of what I do. That's a given. That's a hands down. I think it was more of just strategically lining myself up with key business partners who I thought could help me move forward. But it was more of being open to having new business relationships, whether it was long term or whether it was just for one project or whether it was just in the short term. I think that had to change for me in terms of relationship building and so on. And also understanding that although I may have conversations with people or meetings with people, they may not right away want to do business with me, but that I continue to maintain that relationship, and then eventually they would come around when they're ready, and work with me, you know?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So here's a question. I'm trying to put it together in my head. In business, when you're especially now getting out, even later down in the business, rejection is a thing. You
Oh,
know, people don't always want your services.
yeah.
How do you handle that? And how would you suggest people handle the rejection that is going to come their way from time to time?
Um, I've come to know and understand that not everybody is going to, what's the word? Vibe? I don't want to use the word vibe, but not everybody is going to connect with me, and that's okay. That's okay. Everybody has their right to make their choices, and they will go with how comfortable it is. I've had to learn to not to take it personal
Mm-hmm.
and just continue to move forward. One of my coaches would have told me no means next opportunity. So if that doesn't work there, well then there's another open door somewhere else, and that's okay, and that's quite fine. But you shouldn't take it personal. Eventually the door would open, but you just keep speaking. Because if you know without a shadow of a doubt this is what you were born to do, then do it. Keep letting people know, and eventually someone will come to you. You take a
But
chance on it.
how does one know that
How
is
does
what they're supposed to do?
how does one how does one know? That took me, actually I knew, but I wanted to run away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't think that that was for me, or I didn't think that I was good enough because of previous experiences or previous training and school experiences. Um, but it is your natural ability. And I think people think that, you need to have a master's degree, or you need to have a bachelor's and all those things, in order to consider running a business. I mean, there were times when I was on Martin Barbados, I'd be speaking. I remember meeting a guy at, I think the Marriott at a time, because I used to have meetings there. I used to go there, and he would have asked me, "Do you have a master's?" And I'm like, "No," but the way you talk, you sound as though that you do have one. I said, "Well, I don't," but it's because I have experience and because I work in the field. That it would appear so that I have the knowledge. But what I'm trying to say is that the reason why that's the case is because I'm naturally a teacher and I love numbers. That's always how I've been. Although I had a love-hate relationship with numbers, I've always loved it. So you will recognize that people would be drawn to you for a particular way in which you do things, or a particular way you speak, or the particular way you braid hair, or the particular way you, I don't know, you're a plumber, or whatever natural ability that you're good at. Just don't look down on it. That might be something that you have to offer that somebody is looking for. But
Mm-hmm.
it's just that we're not taught to recognize it and embrace it. And I think there's been more emphasis on the academic side of things, but it's our skills. It's our skills which allow us to earn. It's our skills which allow us to make a living. So I speak and I write and I teach for a living, essentially. So, yeah,
Okay. So covered by JC is saying your niche is yours.
that's
Keep
it.
moving forward.
That's it.
Very much so. I was
Hmm.
just peeping back to see if there were any other things. No.
That's okay.
Um, so earlier you mentioned support system,
Hmm.
right? Um, why are support systems critical?
They are critical because you need that emotional support. And
Mhm.
if you don't have it, you're gonna crumble, in a sense. No man is an island. And you may not get it from your own family. In some instances, I got it from mine. Don't chalk it up as that. I don't get it from mine. I have mine. All right. But sometimes you may not have that. So it's just a matter of surrounding yourself with people who are like-minded. For me, I tend to look for people who are looking to leave a legacy, people who are looking to break generational cycles, not just about money, but just about esteem, just about building a family, marriage, whatever. I prefer to be around like-minded people like that. So you need that support system for sure. And I mean, I'm not the person that requires me to be under people all the time. That's not it. I can like my own company sometimes. But if you're going through business and you are looking to grow and develop, just know that it's not everybody that you're going to go and tell your vision to, because some people are dream killers. So the minute you open your mouth and then they tell you, you sure? That ain't gonna work. The only reason why they're saying that is because they can't see themselves doing it, so they're projected on you. So that's what I'm saying. You need to be very careful in terms of who you choose as your support system, because you need to know that they have your back. And then also you need people who are going to tell you like it is. And trust me, I have quite a few who tell me like it is, who tell me, okay, you know what, that sounds like nonsense, that ain't gonna work, scratch that. I would prefer that. Okay, so you need those sort of people, people who you could tell your vision to, who will not get jealous, who will not get jealous. Let me say that again. Who will not get jealous, and you know, and then you need people who are going to tell you like it is.
Buspite was saying shout out to all the plumbers out there.
I purposely said that because I knew he's on.
I just lost one of my questions.
It will come back. That's okay.
Okay, so while I wait for that one to come back, you were saying that you're introverted. I am too, but okay. I would like to find out from you, what advice would you have to other introverts like out there? Especially when it comes to getting ahead in business.
Yeah, the truth is I am inherently shy. And you would have never seen me years ago doing this, but it comes with confidence. And then, you know, not all introverts, are meant to be in the spotlight, are meant to be speaking publicly, you know. So don't put yourself under pressure to do that. Don't do that. This is what I am purposed to do. But there are different ways that introverts can make an impact. They may do it one-on-one, they may do it with a small group, or they may create something that's tangible, or they may create an app, or they may create, I don't know, they may create whatever. But it could help someone in the future. But if it is that you're looking to speak publicly like I am, just know that it takes time and it takes practice. And it takes building your confidence over a period of time. And you don't need to feel like you have everything together in order to do it. No, you don't. You just, you know, even if you start with speaking to a stranger, that was a huge step for me, okay? Speaking to a stranger and let him know this is what you have to offer. You could start there, all right? Yeah, so it's little things. It's incremental steps. I didn't start speaking publicly right away. At that time, my marketing person would have asked me to write a blog because I was always a writer from at primary school. So she told me to start writing a blog and just let people know, okay, this is my blog, this is what I'm doing. And then, you know, word started to get out there. So it started there, and then eventually I had to start speaking and opening my mouth. And trust me, I was so terrified. And sometimes I do get nervous. I was a little nervous with this one, but last week I had a session, and I will admit I was really nervous. I don't know why, but I mean it went well. But that's just normal. Being nervous means that you want to do well. That's all it means. But introverts can make an impact, and sometimes after interacting with people, I need to, you know, take a little time off, and yeah. Take a little time off. Sorry, my phone just went down. Take a little time off and recuperate, and then go back out again. Rejuvenate, that's the word.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Covered by JC is saying introverts really show confidence as opposed to arrogance.
It's true.
Yeah,
It is true. It is
it's
so
true.
true.
I
Mm-hmm.
never thought about it that way, to be honest.
Yeah, no. Mm-hmm.
Never thought about
Mm-hmm.
it. Okay. What is a typical day like for you?
What's a typical day like? I wake up, try to read my devotions, pray, go and shower, especially in light of these times. And I'm working from home, I have to go and put on something that makes me feel ready for work. So I had this on today. I had a 10 o'clock meeting. So although I'm not going to a building, I put this on so that I would always be in the mood for work. So I check my emails. As much as the day before or beforehand, I try to schedule my appointments so that by the time it's the next day, I know what it is that I need to do and I move forward. I try at the beginning of the week to write a to-do list because I find that when I pace myself, I'm not trying to accomplish everything all at once. It just means that I know this is what I need to accomplish this week. But even if I don't accomplish it this week, then I bring it into the next week. So I try to do those sort of things in order to keep myself focused. I try as much as possible to keep the Netflix tab closed and so on. I don't find I'm spending as much time on social media as I did before because even though we're in a pandemic, I'm just really looking to see if I can get new business, let people know more about my solutions, and really help more people. So that is really my focus. It's a mixture of business development. It's a mixture of keeping track of my finances. It's a mixture of handling clients and all those different things. So it depends. It varies. And yeah, that's what a typical day looks like to me.
Okay. Based on something you mentioned, what, how do you balance your business activities? Because each business has different activities. Do you delegate, or are there particular times or days or times of the month that you focus on particular activities for your business?
Well, during the week, for sure, it's managing clients.
Mhm.
I try to, as much as possible, to try and work on the business. That may happen at night sometimes, or if I wake up early by chance, I'm trying to be a morning person. That would be the prime time in order to do that. But it depends on the deadlines. It depends on when clients need their things. But I try as much as possible. It varies, Chamara. I can't tell you if there's a specific, um, a specific percentage. It depends. I can't tell you that, but I just do what needs to be done. That's it.
The question I was going to ask was related to your confidence building activities. For those who
Oh,
out there who need that confidence boost, would you be able to give us one or two activities that they could try to help to build their confidence?
sure. I look in the mirror and I tell myself nice things.
Like,
For sure. Yeah, it sounds cliche, but no, it's good for my
it's good. Mhm.
confidence building. I'm actually on TikTok and I try to do more videos now. Yes, I'm there now. I'm
Okay.
on TikTok, so I try to post more videos and try to,
Mhm.
speak more, let people know this is what I have to offer. Um, yeah, and reading is good also. I am not reading literally is not my strength, so I tend to use more audiobooks. So that works better for me for sure. I can tell you that. Um, Confidence, dressing up, especially when I don't feel like it. Um, it helps with my appearance and seeing myself,
Mhm.
and it helps me to carry myself well. That's what I do. Yeah, so essentially that's what I do. Yeah. So affirmations as well too. I don't do them daily. I should do them daily. But what affirmations do is that they provide a source of encouragement and emotional support. So I look myself in the mirror and I say this thing that say, "Fair, you are beautiful, you are strong, you are successful," all those different things, because what it does, it just reinforces the truth about myself and the good things about myself. For sure. Yeah. Yes.
Right. Okay, so my last question.
No
What does
problem.
success, what
Pardon
does
me?
success, what does success mean to you? Sorry.
Oh, what does success mean to me? That I build something that outlives me and still gives impact after while I am gone. That I leave the next generation that's coming after me a wealthy legacy, not just in terms of money, but in terms of principles, in terms of morals, in terms of just walking out identity, yeah. In terms of identity, knowing and understanding who they are and equipping them specifically for the purpose that they were born to do. So that's what success is to me, just building something that is going to outlive me.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
So before we close,
Yes.
earlier today, I would have asked the question for persons to answer in order to win your prize. Melinda
Mm-hmm.
today is giving away a free goal planning session,
Yeah. Goal setting. Yes.
goal setting session. My apologies.
It's okay.
A free goal setting session. And the first person to give me the correct answer was Adeline's Design Studio. So she is the winner of
Congrats.
the free goal setting session. I actually saw her pop up not too long ago. I hope she's still here.
Okay.
Um, so congratulations, Adeline's Design Studio, on winning your free goal setting session with Melinda.
Oh, congrats.
So before we go, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you, Melinda, for joining me today
My
and
absolute
for
pleasure.
inspiring us with all that you've had to say. And I think I'm very, I feel very inspired by this conversation, to be quite honest.
Oh, good.
And I would like to also take the time to thank our audience for joining us. Um, and I'd like to encourage persons. I'm going to let Melissa
Melinda,
head
it's
on
okay.
now.
They're,
I would
they're,
like,
they're, they're variations of my name. People call me Melissa, call me Mel, people call me, it's okay, it's fine.
I, I've never called you Melissa before. That's the funny thing.
I've been
But
called Michelle too.
Michelle, girl, let me get me started on things that people call me, right? It's really ridiculous. But, mm, right. I'm going to let you mention your social media handle. So feel free to follow at Make It Happen with Chamara
For
and
sure.
also Money Matters with Melinda.
hmm Yes, my Mars and Melinda, which
Mhm.
is this present one. We're talking about personal finance, but my heart is really for business owners because I want to ensure that they can achieve balance in their business life so that they can actually have a personal life out of earning and living out of their business. And then there's Image Up by Melinda, where I share my personal style story, my journey, developing my own style, and so on. And then there's the Melinda Group, which will be a group of companies that I will be building in the future. So it's not just Money Mars and Melinda, there'll be other things. So that's the thing that I'm looking to leave a group of companies for the next generation to run. So it's not about me, it's about, you know, serving mankind and doing some good. So those are
Nice.
my other handles. So my Mars and Melinda here, Image Up by Melinda, and the Melinda Group.
Thank you.
Oh dear. Oh
Thank
dear.
you.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry, it almost looked like you were falling down. uh,
Oh dear.
but Buspipe was saying, yeah, another fantastic interview. Great job, ladies. Thank you very much. Keep up the good work, ladies. Thank
Sure.
you very much, both of you, covered by JC and Buspipe. And just for anybody, as I mentioned before, anybody who's interested in joining the Dynamic Diva Club, please feel free to either DM me or sign up through the link on my page at Make It Happen with Chamara. Thank you very much once again for joining us. and have a wonderful night, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.